March 11, 2022, the day Subaru announced that there will not be a STI model alongside the new VB WRX. 3 decades of the STI just comes to an abrupt end, but if we look at the statement a little closer, Subaru didn't say the STI is discontinued. They just said it will not be released with the new VB WRX platform. And in this video, I'll explain why I think the STI may come back, using some hints from Subaru to what it may look like and also what kind of powertrain it could come with. Before we get into it, I'm Sep, a car enthusiast making videos for other enthusiasts like yourselves, so feel free to subscribe to get your weekly dose of YouTube car content. The whole fiasco of the STI being discontinued caught everyone off guard, including many of the YouTube car journalists. For instance, when the VB WRX came out, Subaru still made no mention of the STI stopping production, so when the journalists reviewed the VB WRX, they make reference to the STI.
Keep our fingers crossed and see what the new STI is going to be all about, but
look a little bit plain to me. I actually wanted Subaru to do something with the brakes, like give us painted calipers. I suspect that's going to be reserved for the STI.
I do hope that the upcoming WRX STI has at least 400 horsepower.
Or hopefully those seats will also be available in the coming STI.
I can understand why we were all surprised. Let's get analytical with this and go back in time. In 2017, Subaru came out with the bold-looking VIZIV WRX Concept. Looking at the styling, the general shapes of the car were actually retained in the production spec WRX, like the grille, the lower front bumper, the cladding, and the diaper plastic rear bumper. It's sort of funny because when this WRX concept came out, no one really cared about the cladding or the rear bumper, which although is carbon fiber on the concept, they are clearly shown. We are all probably used to not taking Subaru's concept seriously. Therefore, since Subaru didn't hear much of a rebuttal from the car community on the concept design, they decided to proceed with the cladding. So Subaru adding the controversial plastic all over the WRX wasn't 100% a surprise. Also, another thing Subaru just released not too long ago that matches the concept are the wheels, which are very similar to the ones on the TR trim of the WRX. So Subaru did take quite a few design cues from the concept to the production version VB, and this may clue in to what the next gen STI will look like. Going back in time again, in 2018, Subaru dropped another concept, but this time it was for the STI, largely based on the WRX concept but with some STI exclusives. The front end gets a STI grille with the STI logo, and a cherry blossom pinstripe. The front bumper is painted unlike the WRX and has the STI logo sporting each side of the bumper opening. Finishing off the bumper is the STI Performance branded lip spoiler. Looking at the wheel wells, we still get the cladding from the WRX concept. Below the arches, we see the same wheel design from the concept as well, but with the STI center cap instead. Going along the side, nothing has changed except for the side skirts, which are painted this time around. And lastly, the rear end is identical to the WRX concept except for the STI emblem and the massive wing. Realistically, if the next gen STI were to be produced, it will probably look like the VB WRX with paint matched exterior parts, STI logos, and of course the wing. A Japanese magazine in 2021 leaked a supposed render of what the STI looked like, and it honestly looks like an Airflow Dynamics WRX, with painted fenders, rear bumper, and the STI wing. One of the reasons why I think Subaru will one day bring back the STI is because of the fact that they went through the whole ordeal of making an STI exclusive concept separate from the WRX. In 2013, Subaru only released a WRX concept for the VA generation, but not a STI one. Yet they still produced a VA STI. Makes you wonder what is happening over there at Subaru Technica International. That is my speculation on the looks. Let's talk about the powertrain. The first published article about the next-gen STI engine was in 2020 by Forbes magazine. This article notes that the sources close to the Japanese automaker will employ an all-new 2.4-liter boxer turbo called the FA24, pumping out no less than 400 horsepower and 361 pound-feet of torque. How they get this power out of the FA24 is through a reinforced crankshaft, upgraded pistons, fine-tuned valves and intake ports, and boost pressure tweaks. Also, Subaru's engineers apparently benchmarked the Mercedes-AMG 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, which pumps out 416 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, which is recognized as the most powerful 4-cylinder production motor ever. When I first read this article, I was so hyped up, like yes, Subaru finally increased the STI's power to a level that the car community desperately wanted. However, when it was announced that there wasn't going to be a VB STI, I shelved the hope for the next gen STI completely. But then more articles came out about the STI powertrain even after the STI stopped production, which sort of confused me even more. In 2022, Car Sales interviewed Blair Reed, the managing director of Subaru Australia, and he mentioned 3 different powertrains that Subaru Technica International are considering for the STI, either full electric, hybrid, or internal combustion engines that run on new fuel tech. After reading this, I get a sense that the next-gen STI will still be a long wait away if Subaru is still fumbling around with 3 different powertrain options. If it's electric, that's great, but there's a saying online that sort of goes like, a microwave will cook food faster, but who wants a microwave steak? An electric motor is just not the same for a car enthusiast as an internal combustion engine. So let's go through the other 2 options. Internal combustion with fuel tech is governed by what fuel is available, and right now hydrogen fuel is a known alternative, but it isn't viable on a large scale yet, and it would require all the other car manufacturers to get on board as well, so let's skip over that option. The more probable option is a hybrid engine, which will still use gas, but with some sort of electric hybrid setup. Why I think this powertrain is more likely is because of this, the Subaru B5 TPH. This was a concept car Subaru showcased during the 2005 Tokyo Motor Show. It featured Subaru's turbo parallel hybrid setup, or the TPH system. This utilizes a 2-liter turbocharged boxer engine pushing 256 horsepower and 253 pound-feet of torque, and a 10 kilowatt electric motor, powered by a lithium-ion battery pack. This electric motor is placed between the engine and transmission, adding an extra 111 pound-feet of torque. So the turbo engine works together with the electric motor, which reduces turbo lag and optimizes fuel economy. This concept was estimated to achieve 40 miles per gallon, which is pretty amazing. My hope for the next-gen STI is that it gets a beefed up FA24 with a higher output, say around 350 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, but also the TPH hybrid setup that provides extra power and fuel savings, which then can boost the total output to closer to that 400 horsepower level or even higher. Maybe the reason why Subaru delayed on bringing out a next-gen STI is because it needs to find a perfect balance of an enthusiast-worthy powertrain, but at the same time meet the ever-changing emission restrictions year by year. So that is my speculation of what the next-gen STI could be. What do you guys think? Do you expect the STI to return? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways friends, that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.